Okay, some more proving. So we have this lovely proof we need to prove. There are multiple ways to do these, like I said, but there were those couple of ways. Where was that? There was those couple of ways that we wanted to look out for by adding, subtracting, distributive property, factoring, using conjugates, etc. So this one, on this video, we're going to use distributive property. It doesn't tell us what to use. We have to figure that out for ourselves. So for this guy, we start with the most complicated side, which I think is this guy. So then I'm going to do distributive property. And you guys could start going one direction and be like, this, I can't get it to match, and then just start over again. It's totally fine. That happens a lot. It's like a puzzle. Okay, so I got that. And then a very helpful one we always say is turning everything into sines and cosines. So let's go ahead and do that. So cosecant is the same thing as 1 over sine. Cosecant again is the same thing as 1 over sine. Okay. And if you want to write the left, just so you can kind of be a little bit more aware of what we want, you're welcome to. Technically, the left is rewritten on every step, but it just can get a little redundant. Okay, so now I have a fraction times, but not fraction, so I can make that into denominator. And then how do you multiply fractions is straight across. So this would become cos x over sine x plus, and then this sine over sine x over sine x. Okay, and I want this cotan x plus 1. Okay, so can we rewrite cosine over sine? Yeah, that's a quotient identity. So that is cotan. Sine over sine cancel out to be 1. Oh my goodness, look what we got. The same thing. Bam, done with that one. All right. Next. Gotta write that guy down. So distributive, again, like if you're looking at what's the most gross side, it's pretty obvious that that one's the most gross. I hope you would say that too. So let's go ahead and do some distributive. So we're going to go cos theta times cosecant theta plus cos theta tan theta. So a lot of kids will try to like do multiple steps in one and like change this to 1 over sine theta right away. When you're doing proofs, you want to prove every little step. So the more steps you have, the better, okay? So then you can see pretty obviously from one step to the next how you got to it, okay? So we have this guy. Now let's change these guys that aren't sines and cosines into sines and cosines. So we have cos theta times, we're going to take that to be 1 over sine theta plus cosine theta, and then tangent is sine theta over cosine theta. And you can have those trig identities that we had in the top of the notes. You guys can have these out with you. It's not expected that you memorize all these yet. And we want to get cotan theta plus sine theta. All right, so we have a fraction again. So let's go ahead and multiply. I'm going to get this denominator of 1, top, bottom, bottom. So cosine times 1 is cosine. 1 times sine is sine. Cosine times sine, well, that's just cosine sine. Over 1 times cosine is cosine. Okay. Cosine theta over sine theta, that is cotangent based on a quotient property. Whoops, that's not supposed to be equals, that's supposed to be plus. Plus cos over cos cancels out. I can cancel those because it's multiplication. If it was addition or subtraction, we couldn't do that unless every single term had a cosine. So these ones we can because it's multiplication. So I'm left with just sine theta. All right, let's see what we need. Oh, look at that. We have what we need. Bam, done. Let's see what we got next. Okay, that's it for distributive.